Although the narrative to the Rockstar Games Red Dead Redemption series is by far one of the greatest ever told, there are a couple of plot holes we uncover during the title that frankly just don't make sense. So today we're going to be taking a look at a few. Welcome to the video. You're listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming. If you've enjoyed the following, you all know what to do, and if you're new here and aren't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. If you have realised any plot holes that aren't mentioned in today's video, please make sure to let us know them in the comment section. With that being said, and please be aware of spoilers for both Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, let's get into what we came here to see. Things that don't make any sense in the Red Dead Redemption series. Why were some of the gang members allowed to live peacefully? The Pinkerton Detective Agency, mainly Edgar Ross and Andrew Milton, are hell-bent on bringing an end to the era of outlaws on these untamed lands, and with the backing of Cornwall Leviticus, it seemed the final days of the Van der Linde gang were inevitable. This was noticed by Arthur Morgan, who admitted it to John during a later mission in Chapter 2 of the title.
You was at that thing in Blackwater. We already seen Pinkertons here. New century's coming. This life, this way, well, we're the last, I reckon, and we ain't long for it.
So whilst the agents spend the entire length of the story tracking down and killing members of the Van der Linde gang after they separated during the attack on Beaver's Hollow, why did they suddenly stop chasing the remaining members? It's not as if they weren't aware of each one, as the agents had been keeping a close eye on them all, finding their camp and picking up the likes of Micah Bell and Molly O'Shea, so why the sudden change of heart? Pearson was allowed to continue life as a store owner in Rhodes, Mary Beth became a writer, albeit she used a pen name, and Tilly married a lawyer and became pregnant, so why did the Bureau choose to forget about these selected few and continue on the hunt for the likes of John, Javier and Bill? How did Dutch know that John and Abigail were married? After the fall of the Van der Linde gang in 1899, then following the killing of Micah Bell atop Mount Hagen in 1907, Dutch walks away from John Marston, not seeing him again for a further 4 years, where they reunited in the later stages of Red Dead Redemption's main story. During a scene, Dutch mentions something, trying to trigger a response out of John.
How's Abigail?
Well, I hope. Ain't seen her for a while.
'Cause you've been chasing me?
Let the woman go, Dutch.
Of course. You always were the romantic sort. You know, gentlemen, this man here, oh, he married a whore. Used to ride with us. We all had her. Oh, but he married her. And you know that makes him a better man than us. He's a better man.
The plot hole here is that John and Abigail married after the Mount Hagen incident, so there was no way that Dutch would have known that Abigail had now become Mrs. Marston. Sadie states before this that she believed John and Abigail were already married during a ride with John, but Dutch knew for certain that they in fact were not. Was this simply a developer oversight by Rockstar Games?
Will you marry me?
Get up, I am married to you.
No, I mean proper, in front of God.
You serious?
I got this ring. I've had it for a long time. Take it.
You serious?
It would make me very happy if you would...
We've lived a lot of lives.
Let's just live this one from now on. You and me, Jack, a family, by law.
John, I didn't know it mattered to you.
It didn't. But now it does. If you think this is dumb, I'm sorry.
Shut up, you silly man, and kiss me.
Why did Agent Ross wait 4 years before going after John at Beecher's Hope? The narrative of 2010's Red Dead Redemption is John Marston, who's had his family taken by former Pinkerton agent, now federal agent of the Bureau of Investigation, Edgar Ross, is forced to track down and capture his former gang members, Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, and leader Dutch Van der Linde. But as we later learn during the final credits to the prequel, Red Dead Redemption 2, Agent Ross, with Archie Fordman in tow, tracked down John Marston and his family at their home of Beecher's Hope. The timeline in which this occurred in the epilogue was 1907, so why did it take all that time to use John as an instrument in their plan to foil the roaming gangs of the West? It's a plot hole that doesn't make a great deal of sense.
Mr. Marston, so glad to see you. How was your journey?
Where's my wife and son?
Being well looked after. Well looked after.
I want to see him.
Mr. Ross wants to speak with you. We've had some important developments.
You want me to take out a gun and blow a fucking hole in your head right here? Right now? You want that?
Mr. Marston.
You want that?
Mr. Marston, I ask you to calm down.
Why? Why? I did what you asked. I got you Williamson and Escuela. It's over. Stop playing games with me.
No one's playing games with you, Mr. Marston.
Why didn't the Pinkertons just follow Arthur back to camp to catch Dutch? During the later stages of Chapter 2 in Red Dead Redemption 2, Abigail Roberts requests a favour from Arthur to take her son Jack away from camp for a little while as he's been feeling a little down. Obliging this request, Arthur invites the young boy on a fishing trip not too far from camp. Shortly into this, Pinkerton detective agents Milton and Ross approach Arthur with a proposal.
What a fine young man! And in such complex circumstances. Arthur, isn't it? Arthur Morgan?
Who are you?
Yes, Arthur Morgan, Van der Linde's most trusted associate. Nice to finally meet. We know a lot about you.
Do you?
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan. There's $5,000 for your head alone.
$5,000? For me? Can I turn myself in?
We want Van der Linde. This is my offer, Mr. Morgan. Bring in Van der Linde, and you have my word you won't swing.
But what doesn't make sense is that instead of approaching Arthur Morgan, they could have simply followed him and Jack back to the camp of Horseshoe Overlook, where they would have been presented with a greater opportunity to nab the leader Dutch Van der Linde, plus learn exactly who was part of the gang, and utilise them much earlier, similar to how they did with Micah Bell after the return from Guam.
I'm a fool, Mr. Milton.
Not all you boys have quite so many scruples. Old Micah Bell.
Micah? You mean Molly?
Molly O'Shea. Sweated her a couple of times, never talked a word, had to let her go. Micah Bell. We picked him up when you boys came back from the Caribbean, and he's been a good boy ever since.
Why didn't Dutch send their non-fighting gang members to retrieve the Blackwater money? Not all of the Van der Linde gang were involved in the Blackwater ferry heist. The likes of Pearson, Mary Beth and Susan Grimshaw would have been back at camp. Now we learn later, as the Pinkerton agents bravely enter the gang's camp at Clements Point towards the end of Chapter 3, that neither agents Milton or Ross knew specifically who was part of this posse of outlaws. They knew Arthur and of course Dutch, and recognised Hosea, potentially due to his age, but there were plenty of others that Dutch could have chosen to retrieve the buried takings. Even the girls of the group, who were known for thieving, could have slipped in and out of Blackwater pretty easily, as they were unknown to neither the local authorities or the Pinkerton detective agents at this point. So why Dutch chose not to do this is anyone's guess. There are many more plot holes in the narrative of the Red Dead Redemption series, so if you guys would like to see another video similar to this one, let me know in the comment section below. Are there any plot holes you're aware of that didn't make it into today's video? Be sure to let us know. If you enjoyed the video, you all know what to do, and if you're new here and aren't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. Thank you all for watching. You've been listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming, and I'll see you in the next video.